Next one is great. A couple more rules. When you divide, the rule, as you might guess, is now subtraction. So x raised to the a divided by x raised to the b is x raised to the a minus b. First set of examples are just straightforward, no coefficients. So x raised to the fifth divided by x raised to the third becomes x raised to the 5 minus 3, or x raised to the 2. K to the 12th divided by k to the 2 becomes k raised to the 12 minus 2, or k raised to the 10th. And m raised to the third divided by m raised to the third becomes m raised to the 3 minus 3, becomes m raised to the 0. Anything raised to the 0 is 1, so it becomes 1, which also, if you just look at this, m raised to the 3 divided by m raised to the 3 is the same thing, so it has to be 1. All right, continuing on now, we're going to have two variables in each quotient. And so this first one becomes a raised to the 6 minus 2 times b raised to the 4 minus 3, or a raised to the 4th times b raised to the 1. My next example becomes p raised to the 7 minus 4 times q raised to the 16 minus 12. So this is p raised to the third times q raised to the 4th. And finally, we have three variables now. So it's x raised to the 20 minus 5 times y raised to the 9 minus 9 times z raised to the 2 minus 1. So don't forget, when you just see a variable with nothing there, there's always the magic hidden 1. So simplifying this, we end up with x to the 15th times y to the 0 times z, now raised to the 1, and y to the 0 is 1, so I can really write this as, I've got here x to the 15th times z. As you might imagine, when we do have coefficients in front of them, we just divide them first. So our first example, we have 6x to the 4th divided by 2x raised to the 3rd. 6 divided by 2 is 3, times x raised to the 4 minus 3, or 3x. Second example, 14 divided by 7 is 2, times r raised to the 2 minus 1, times s raised to the 2 minus 1, which is 2rs. And finally, we're going to have minus 36 divided by 4 is minus 9. We're going to get c raised to the 2 minus 2, and d raised to the 5 minus 3, which is minus 9. So c raised to the 0 is going to be 1, and d raised to the second power, this is just minus 9d squared. So you might be starting to see how you could just look at these and see that you have c to the 2 over c to the 2, that's just 1. And d to the 5 minus 3 is d squared. So in other words, to begin with, you want to write the steps out. But as you get confident with this, you can write less. All right, that was dividing.